Welcome to this Perth County Council meeting for Thursday, October 16th. I'm Warden Doug Kellum, and I officially call this meeting the order. Ask the clerk to note the starting time as 9 a.m. I see that Councillor Kaysenberg is joining us virtual. Welcome, Councillor Kaysenberg. This time, if you could bow your heads for a moment of reflection. Thank you. We acknowledge that Perth County is situated on the traditional land of the Anishinaabe, who have a long-standing relationship with the land and water throughout the region. We honor and respect the history, languages, and culture of the diverse, Indigenous, Métis, and Inuit people who call this territory home. As a county, we have a responsibility for reconciliation and continued stewardship on the land of which we live and work. Does anyone have any pecuniary interest to disclose at this time? Seeing none, if any arises throughout the meeting, please do so at that time. Are there any amendments to the agenda this morning?
Nope.
Yeah. Seeing none, motion that the October 16th, 2025 agenda be approved. Moved by Deputy Warden Trentowski, second by Councillor Wilhelm. All those in favor? And that is carried. Council, we move on to the consent agenda. There are 25 items on this morning's agenda. Is there anything you'd like to extract to discuss for further discussion? Seeing none, I have a resolution that reads as follows. That Council receives the consent agenda items 6.1 to 6.25 and approves the September 18th, 2025 Council minutes. Moved by Councillor McKenzie, second by Councillor Orr. All those in favor? And that is carried. There are no public meetings, public hearings, or delegations, so we'll move on to staff reports. 8.1, we'll start off with the forestry report. Tyler?
Perfect. So through the warrant before council is the August 2025 Forestry Inspector's Report prepared by Marvin Smith, Perth County Forestry Inspector. Within the month of August, Marvin completed 7 inspections in response to the notice of intent, 1 inspection in response to a request from a landowner. Information is before you. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to pass those along to Marvin.
Thank you, Tyler. Council, questions or comments for Tyler at this time? Go ahead, Councilor.
I don't know if this is the time to bring it up or not, but I was wondering about the open house that we are having with the tree by, excuse me, the tree bylaw and what it's going to look like. I know you come up with some dates. I'm just wondering what the format is going to be for that.
Perfect. So through the warden, just to address the question, we have got some information here. We just put out this conversation. Just trying to find the format here. So what we're looking for is it'll be December 10th. So we just secured that with Perth East, and we're going to be having it at Perk. So it'll be December 10th will be the date, and we'll have that information as we go around to the lower tiers for our roadshow. The tentative format is general welcome, introductions, a staff topic. We'll have a similar presentation that we'll be taking to the lower tiers as well that we'll put on for the public. There'll be some frequently asked questions that we're going to try to get ahead of time and present answers to those questions. And so we'll have staff available as well as Marvin, as well as Daryl, our prosecutor there, to kind of give more of a fulsome kind of perspective on that information. And then we'll have any additional comments from staff or them, and then open for questions and feedback from the public. So that'll be moderated by myself. And so that way we can make sure that we can have good conversation back and forth between the public and staff for some good public feedback.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, resolution that reads as follows. That Council receives the August 2025 Forestry Inspector's Report for information. Moved by Councillor McDermott, second by Councillor Wilhelm. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you, Tyler. 8.1.2, association.
Excellent. So through the warden, for council is the Perth Association 77th Annual Perth Municipal Event Update Report. The Perth County Municipal Association is a group of elected officials and staff who organize this yearly event to provide education and promote cooperation throughout the various municipalities. within the geographical area of Perth County. The association also focuses on the consideration of matters of general interest to municipalities and meets annually to conduct business of the association. So this year, the theme is Connect, Engage, Collaborate, and it is hosted by the municipality of West Perth. It rotates municipalities every year. This year it is in West Perth, and the date is November 19th, 2025. And the event begins at 8:30. The ticket cost is $55.66. And this year we have 3 speakers. Ontario Federation of Agriculture, we're going to have Ethan Wallace. Stratford and District Chamber of Commerce is Aaron Martin. And then the Association of Municipalities of Ontario, or AMO, is Spencer Sandor. So looking forward to the event. Everybody should have received an invite from your lower tier clerk. If not, reach out to them and I'm sure they can get you registered. But if there's any questions, happy to take them now.
Good. Thank you, Tyler. Questions or comments? Seeing none, a resolution that reads as follows. That council receives the Perth Municipal Association 77 Annual Perth Municipal Event Update Report for information. Moved by Councillor Kaysenberg. Second by Councillor McDermott. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you, Tyler. Moving on to our reports. Public Works 8.2.1, the Fall 2025 Stewardship Program. Morning, Bill and Hannah.
Morning, Callum and Council. I am here to talk to you about 2 reports this morning. The first one is the 2025 Stewardship Program intake results. Fall 2025 marks the second application intake for this year, utilizing residual grant funds from the spring intake. The intake offered 4 streams, including the landowner, community, woodland, and living snow fence streams. 10 applications were received, with 8 being in the landowner stream and 2 in the community stream. For this intake, the project value was $84,993.76, while the grant request was $31,170.66. The projects, if all supported, would plant 1,091 large stock trees and 1,490 seedling-sized trees and shrubs. With a high species diversity of 28, we were pleased with the designs of the applications received. The projects, if supported, would plant out 4.5 acres of marginal lands and almost 4 kilometers of windbreaks. The applications received in the fall intake account for 31% of the total grant funding allocated for 2025 and would bring the combined 2025 Stewardship Program grant disbursement to $89,491.28, representing 89.5% of the 2025 Stewardship Program funding allocation of $100,000. With that, I welcome questions.
Thank you, Hannah, for your report. Council, questions or comments for Hannah at this time? Okay, seeing none, I have a resolution that reads as follows. That council receives the Fall 2025 Stewardship Program Intake Results Report, and that council approves the Stewardship Program applications as presented. Moved by Councillor McKenzie, second by Councillor Duncan. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you, Hannah. On to 8.2.2. I believe you're up again.
In 2026, the Perth County Stewardship Program will be offered for a 3rd year to support environmental stewardship initiatives by providing financial and technical resources to landowners and community organizations engaged in sustainable land management and conservation practices within the county. The program will offer a landowner stream, woodland stream, community stream, and living snow fence stream to support the establishment of new tree cover through windbreaks, block plantings, infill sites, and snow fences, contributing to landscape resilience and ecological function. The program will be delivered in 2 intake phases aligned with the seasonal planting cycles in spring and fall. Previous years' available funding for stewardship applicants has been well used, and the program is growing each and every year. Funding for the 2026 Stewardship Program will continue to be in keeping with initial program development recommendations and will be included in the draft budget for consideration. Attached to the report in front of you is the 2026 Stewardship Program Guide for your reference. The application period for spring 2026 plantings opened October 1st, and I'm happy to assist any member of the public or community group with crafting an application to this for the fall 2026 intake. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the next best time is today. With that, Warden, I welcome any questions.
Thank you, Hannah. Colleagues, questions or comments for Hannah at this time? Go ahead, Councilor Higgins.
Normally, when staff comes to us and they want to have stuff in the budget, we have to give pre-approval. And I think that's one of these, this is one of those things, because if staff's going out to tender for trucks or paving or any of that kind of item, it comes to council first. I think this is a little premature. We haven't even looked at our budget. We don't even know where our budget's at. We're also duplicating a service that's already offered by the conservation people. And I think we're charging our ratepayers double. They're paying a levy onto the conservation, and we're also paying into this. I also realize that this $25,000, I think that's another item that council needs to talk about during the budget deliberation. We have an awful lot of items on our budget now, and our budget's getting higher all the time. I think this is a program that we really have to look at during budget.
Okay. Thank you for your comments. To respond, or
Through the warden, thank you for the comments. The program guide and the intake is currently open. However, the funding is not being spent, and that will be considered at budget time for council.
So I guess my comment is we've got this open, we have people come forward, they want trees, council decides to take it out of the budget, then what do we tell the people? That, to me, doesn't sit well. Like, if you want to have things ahead of time, I think you need a motion from this council that saying that council allows this prior to the budget being passed, because we haven't passed the funds to allow this program to continue. Procedurally, that's my understanding.
should I speak to this?
Sure. Sorry, through the warden. So it is a program that's already been approved by council. Council had, as part of the program, given direction that the intention would be every year we would add 25,000 to the budget, obviously subject to the approval by council.
I understand
Absolutely.
that part, but the $100,000 is not a given. Just because it's in, we've done that in the past, it doesn't mean it's going to stay in the budget going forward.
Thank you. Through the warden, absolutely, you are correct. But in order to align the budget with the actual, or align the work so we can approve it and have that in front of council during budget process, we have to do the outreach to the public first. If council decides at any point during the process, when we come back through this, to be able to say we are going to cut this program from the service, we would simply take that direction. We would communicate with the applicants who put their requests in that this program has been removed from the budget or it's been reduced, and we would deal with it in that regard. We would communicate with the landowners then.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not the approach that I would take.
Deputy Warden?
Through you, Warden Kellum, to try and address Councillor Higgins' comments. From the perspective of the chair of the Agriculture Working Group, what do we say to the community after we went through extensive consultation to set this program up? We went through extensive consultation and discussion with the 4 conservation authorities that serve Perth County. What do we say to those people when we decide, if we would decide to say, oh, no, we're not doing that anymore, sorry. We've got you all on board. We've got you all working together cooperatively. Oh, no, we don't feel like doing it anymore. So yes, we will have that discussion at budget, and I look forward to that discussion. In the meantime, I will point out to the 2022 Upper Thames River Watershed Report Card. It's not a very flattering picture. Regardless of anyone's opinions of the Upper Thames or the other 3 conservation authorities that serve Perth County, there's important work to be done, and this Ag Working Group through council has endeavored quite diligently to perform that work. So if we want to have a discussion about how this Ag Working Group and this stewardship program functions, then yes, we will have it at budget. But I can tell you that the community is solidly behind this. I can tell you that the 4 conservation authorities are solidly behind this program. and our peers in this region of Ontario and other counties are encouraging us and congratulating us on our efforts to date. So with that, Warden, I will yield the floor back to you. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Councillor McKenzie.
It's, my way of looking at it is kind of like the chicken and the egg, which comes first. And I think you have to have your applications to know how many trees that you're going to have a demand for. And then at that point, we can go at budget. Maybe we don't need as much as what we put in, and you can address it at that time. But I think that you both make good points, but I think we have to have the program out there to see how much of a demand there is for it. Once we find it, then we can go from there. That's my comments.
Good, thank you for your comment. Councillor Orr.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, we used 89,000 of approximately this year, so I don't see the program growing to 125. The other thing that is missing is we were talking about Giant Hogweed, having about a budget for that. So I would like to defer any discussion on how much this program is given till budget time. I don't believe we're going to cut this program. I just would like to investigate how, like Huron County does it. I think that there's value in how they operate it. They use the conservation authorities and do it slightly different. They don't have staff that do it. They just give the money. I still want to give the money. The whole goal is to plant more trees, but it's the way it's done is where I'd like to see it reevaluated.
Thank you. Go ahead.
And like I said, we are duplicating the service. The conservation people already offer the same service we're doing. So we're dinging the taxpayers twice. So that now all needs to be looked at, and can they get more money from the conservation than what we can give? That if the grants are out there, we're told they are, then we should be looking at those possibilities for our ratepayers.
Thank you. Go ahead, Hannah.
Through you, Warden. There are grants available through the conservation authorities for certain projects. However, those grants are very limited in Perth County compared to Huron County or Wellington. And they also don't support small projects or projects that don't meet their rigorous standards for water quality protection. So a windbreak, for example, doesn't have very many benefits for like watershed water protection other than erosion control. So some windbreaks might not be eligible under the Conservation Authority grant, whereas our grant fills that void. And so that's why we have the minimum standards that we have set for our application streams, is because they encompass those smaller projects that are missed in the larger funding that's available. That being said, the funding that's available is not consistent across all conservation authorities that are within Perth County's boundaries. So Upper Thames did receive a provincial grant for funding, but that has a short time frame. I think it's only 3 to 5 years, and Dean might be able to specify more clearly. But hopefully, work that was done with the stewardship program's conception will bring us to a long-term plan for supporting projects in Perth County. And that's the biggest struggle that CAs face, is a lack of long-term funding and consistency. And that's what we're trying to provide with the stewardship program.
Thank you, Hannah. Any further comments, Raymond? Go ahead, Deputy Warden.
Through you, Warden Kellen, to, I guess, supplement Hannah's comments. Yes, the CAs are under extreme funding pressure. The drinking water, there seems to be a shift to download the funding of the drinking water, source water protection program, source water protection. There seems to be a move by the province to download those costs directly onto the lower tiers. So it would, to Hannah's point, the funding at the CAs is under pressure. So relying on the CAs to do this work is not a guarantee that the money will be there in the future. Also, to Hannah's point, programs that are handed down from the province or the federal government, I'm thinking of Rural Ontario, the RALP program, and the on-farm program. There's a requirement in some of those programs to have your environmental farm plan in place. Without that, you can't qualify for funding. Environmental farm plan takes some time to get that designation, whereas the county program it's not a requirement to have an environmental farm plan. You can just fill out your application right away. So that's one less barrier towards accessing funds to make improvements to your property. And given the nature of the farm commodity markets lately, the prices are trending lower. So any additional support that can be offered through the county will be of benefit to our local agricultural community. It should be seen as an opportunity to make an improvement. It should not be looked upon as a burden. I think that the benefits far outweigh the initial costs. So we have to keep that in mind as well. Thank you.
Thanks for your comments. Councillor Kasenberg, did you want to weigh in on this? I didn't look up, sorry. You're fine? Okay. Any other comments around the table?
The last one I have is I'd like to see the motion be a little more, bit more to it. If we're going to approve that this already be funded, that council is behind it for budget process. I think you need something in there for saying that you're pre-approving the first round of application, even though the budget's not approved.
I appreciate your comments, but I believe this report is just for information only. Do we need to amend it or just?
Through the warden, if that's council's desire to amend it, we'll take the direction as given.
Okay.
I guess when you take the applications, and of course, you've already got the forms out, but, you know, I think a simple line, subject to council approval. Because ultimately, it is our approval.
And we'll be coming back to council.
But it will come back to council anyway for subject approval anyway.
Right.
Yep.
Correct. Okay. So, any more comments before I read the resolutions? Go ahead.
I guess as chair of the working group, it would have been useful and helpful to receive these comments, not at the last minute, but beforehand. Everyone around this table's been experienced enough with this working group and what we do and what our timelines are. A little bit of communication beforehand would have been quite valuable to try and answer some of these questions, and rather than just trying to deal with it here all at once today. So just want to make that comment. Thank you.
Thank you. Last one.
Can we look at what Huron Clean Water does? Can we investigate that? How they funded?
Through you, Warden, I work very closely with the staff at Huron County, and those that manage both their climate change portfolio and their stewardship program. It was the plan in the conception of our stewardship program to build upon the streams year over year as more funding was available. As the first year of funding was focused on tree planting and we blew through that funding very quickly with the applications received, we decided to open it up with more funding in 2025, again focused on tree planting. However, there is a 6-year plan that I have crafted to implement more streams under the stewardship program's umbrella that encompass things that are included in Huron County and Wellington County's clean water portfolios, including agricultural best management practices, manure and waste storage decommissioning, well decommissioning, water quality and aquatic habitat restoration, private drinking water protection and infrastructure, invasive species and biodiversity enhancement, and climate resilience and stormwater and flood mitigation. So I have created a 6-year plan for the county for releasing these grant streams strategically, along with the planned increase of funding that we had planned at the conception of this project. So that is all coming, and it will align very closely with Huron County's model.
You have Councillor Duncan?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think that if we wanna discuss changes to the stewardship program, I think that's a job of the committee. The Ag Working Group should look at that first and then bring a report back to county council.
Again, this is an information report. Go ahead.
And through you, Warden Kellen, to Hannah's last comments, these additional tree planting, when we did the community consultation with Mel Limas and got her report back. What Hannah mentioned, tree planting was the first item that was identified as something that we could embark upon. Drinking water, source water protection, manure management, all those things that Hannah mentioned, that was covered in Mel Limus's report. And her report was a reflection of what the community input was at the time when we started this idea of the stewardship program. So this is, it's not just something we figured or dreamt up lately. This has always been part of the original plan, and Hannah is following through on the original plan. It's brought to council for their review and endorsement. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, council have a resolution that reads as follows, that council receives the 2026 Perth County Stewardship Program report for information. Moved by Councillor McDermott, second by Councillor Duncan. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Hannah. Moving on our agenda, item 9, council reports. You have the warden's report where I was in September. If there's any questions on that or where I was, let me know. Seeing none, a resolution that reads that council receives the warden's activity report, September 2025 report for information. Moved by Councillor Wilhelm, second by Councillor McDermott. All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. There are no bylaws. Does any councillor wish to give notice of motion at this time? Seeing none. Any other business? Go ahead, Deputy Warden.
Through you, Warden Kellum, and I apologize for not advising you or staff earlier. Just thought of this morning as I was coming in. It's the middle of October, but Roma is coming up in January, so I just wanted to ask my council colleagues and staff to give some consideration on what, if any, delegations that the county would like to present at Roma. Just so that we can get prepared. This is our last month in October, and we only have a few more meetings before January, and I think we have to get our requests in for Roma delegations probably in December. So just wanted to draw that to our attention of colleagues and staff so that we can think about what we might want to present at Roma in January. Thank you.
Good, thank you for your comments. Thanks for bringing that up. I'm sure you guys can discuss it at your staff meeting when you have it. And if any councilor members wants to bring something up, go ahead.
Not to do with that, but I have another topic if I may.
Sure, yeah.
Budget process. I'm just wondering when we're going to see the budget process, and are we going to have separate days for those budget meetings? I've asked that several times every year. We always seem to stuff it into a council meeting, and to me it gets lost.
Okay, thank you. I think I'll ask Corey for this.
Yeah, through the warden to Councillor Eggers. The process for this year is to bring council the budget, the meeting for December break, to have the discussion in January. It's up to council whether it be a special meeting or in amongst the regular meetings of council. So that's the purview of council to do special meetings in January. We could do that as well.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Through the warden. And in addition to Treasurer Bridger's comments, he'll be bringing a report to council in early November to be able to go over the process that we would follow to seek your input on any additional changes that you want to see in terms of the special meeting dates or additional information or what have you. So, or any other direction that you want to give as we prepare that budget document for you.
Good, thank you for your comments. Okay, fine. Any other announcements? Okay, so any announcements that's going to benefit the Perth County at this time you'd like to say? Go ahead, Deputy Warden.
Deputy Warden, through you. I didn't want to steal your thunder or Lori's thunder, but the Canadian Safety Excellence Awards.
Go ahead.
I was proud and pleased to attend that award ceremony with Warden Kellum, CAO Wolf, and our staff. Unfortunately, our public sector nomination, we did not win, but we were, I guess, in the top 3 across the country. So that's something to be very proud of. And my compliments to this council, but our staff as well, from the directors right down to every employee for making safety a priority in the workplace. Even though we didn't win the award, congratulations are still highly deserved. Thank you.
Good, thank you for those comments. Yes, it was a great night, and all across Canada, and to be in the top 3 and the amount of work that staff puts into it is very grateful. So thanks for bringing that up. Anything else? Seeing done, moving on. We do have a closed session. And the resolution reads that Perth County will move into closed session at approximately 9:30 a.m. in accordance with Section 239 of the Municipal Act, SO 2001 C25, as amended, to consider a matter pertaining to labor relations HR. Moved by Councillor McDermott, second by Councillor Smith. All those in favor? And that is carried. We're on item 15 of our agenda, the confirmatory bylaw. Confirmatory bylaw that reads that bylaw number 40442025 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council, the corporation of the County of Perth at its regular meeting held October 16th, 2025 is read a first, second, and third time, and finally passed October 16th, 2025. Moved by Councillor McDermott, second by Councillor Wilhelm. All those in favor? And that is carried. Finally, adjournment. Resolution that reads that the council meeting be adjourned at approximately 9:53 a.m. Moved by Councillor Kasenberg, second by Deputy Warden Trentowski. All those in favor? And that is carried. Thank you, everyone.